Good morning. Welcome to this online service from Unitarian Universalist Society. We are grateful that you are with us this morning for a time of inspiration and reflection. I'm Kara Beauchamp, and I'm presenting this service with Margaret Kinsman. We are both members of this congregation and worship associates. Both my and Margaret's pronouns are she and her. Our beloved minister, the Reverend Diana Smith, has recently been on medical leave. We look forward to her return to the pulpit later this month. Our UUS staff have been on a well-deserved leave for the past week through today. The music we're using for this service was recorded during services earlier in 2022, and we're reusing it. As the music begins, you may see a flash of an image from a previous service. If you're newer to our community, we invite you to join us again, either online or in person. At an upcoming service, there will be an opportunity to meet with congregation and staff members to learn more about Unitarian Universalism and this congregation. As Unitarian Universalists, we covenant together to affirm and promote 7 principles, which we hold as strong values and moral guides. This congregation has endorsed the adoption of an 8th principle, which calls us to be committed to active anti-racism. Love is the core of our covenantal faith. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, classes, abilities, and health statuses, we gather together as a radically welcoming spiritual community. During our services, we draw inspiration and meaning from thoughtful people of the past and present, and use sources as diverse as poetry, nature, science, and personal experience. Before we begin our service, we pause to remember that each of us is sustained by the land where we make our homes and livelihoods, land that was once dominated by tall grass prairie. We remember that for centuries before colonization, Native people lived in interdependence with this land that we call home. We give thanks, particularly to the Kickapoo, the Iowa, the Sauk and the Meskwaki, and the Sioux nations for their continued stewardship as we seek to live in reciprocity with this land. This morning, we celebrate the new year by engaging in a ritual of letting go of our regrets and looking forward to the new year with our wishes, hopes, and dreams. As part of the ritual, we will be writing on pieces of paper. You may have picked up paper from UUS before this service, either flash paper, which burns quickly when touched to a flame, or dissolving paper, which easily dissolves in water. The type of paper is noted in the corner of the piece of paper. If you didn't get paper from UUS, you can write on normal paper. If you are dissolving or burning the paper, you will also need water or a flame. If you are not dissolving or burning paper, you can crumple or rip your paper to pieces. You may also want a candle to light in acknowledgement of your commitment to your hopes and dreams. Please take a moment to make sure you have the supplies you need for the ritual while we listen to a piece played by our staff pianist, Shinwen Liu. We begin our service this morning with our call to gather by Reverend Gretchen Haley. It starts here, in this moment, in this breath. You feel rising in your chest, this beat building between us, the healing, the hunger, the hope, the courage, the calling, the commitment, the drawing out of a new day. It begins now, in the imagination, in this story we weave together, this song we sing, this prayer we bring into being from our hearts to our lips, from our hands to our life. Our shared life starts here with praise and thanksgiving, forgiveness, and this humble, centering confession that we could be wrong, this promise that we make to keep learning, to keep trying, to keep our sense of humor, to keep close, this knowing that we are all in this together. Come, let us begin. Come, let us worship together. As we begin our worship, please join in singing Spirit of Life. The words will appear on the screen as the video plays.
Spirit of life, come unto me. In my heart, all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Who's hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come unto us. Stir in our hearts all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold us close, wings set us free. Spirit of life, come to us, come to
Good morning. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice as a symbol of sanctuary and safety, to unite us in our worship and to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth. For our chalice lighting this morning, we offer a poem, My Dreams, They Matter. Though at times I may forget who I am or who becoming, my dreams, they matter. When I make space for all that is, when I move away from that which no longer serves me, when I make space for the new possibility in the circumstances, my dreams do matter. They matter. They hold many truths and many turning points. They matter. Though at times I may convince myself they don't, they do, for they call me back in time and forward still. My dreams matter. They matter as they pull me inward and yet simultaneously push me outside of myself. My dreams matter. They matter as they speak to the breadth of love, of pain, of hope that rest deep in the fabric of my blood and bones. My dreams matter as they are connected to the dreams of my ancestors, connected to all who have graced this earth before, who grace it here and now, and will be connected to all who grace this earth when we grace this place no more. My dreams, they matter. Your dreams, they matter. Our dreams, they matter. They matter. Each week we light a candle for justice and healing and hold space for our understanding of interdependence, that our liberation is bound up with every other person's liberation, and to acknowledge our feelings of rage and heartbreak over the ongoing pandemics of illness and racism, the devastation of climate chaos, and the waves of trauma washing over our world. We light this candle that we may not be numbed or lost to injustice, devastation, illness, and danger, but rather find strength, courage, and resilience as we struggle together towards liberation, justice, and healing. At the start of 2023, we are holding space for two concerns. We light this candle mindful of the ongoing situation in Ukraine, where families are separated from each other, are cold, hungry, under siege, and facing uncertain futures. And secondly, we are mindful of the Taliban's unjust efforts to erase Afghan women from public life by denying them an education. After I light this candle, we will hold a time of silence to listen to our hearts and bodies, or perhaps to lift up prayers.
As we move deeper into our worship, let us open ourselves to the possibility of transformation by taking time for meditation, contemplation, or prayer. Start by finding a comfortable position in your seat, closing your eyes, and reflecting on these words from Reverend Kate Lohr. Great Spirit of life, as a new year begins, we turn inward to reflect about the state of our lives. What lessons have we learned in the past year, and which ones now call us forward? To whom do we still owe an apology or expression of thanks? And with whom must we draw fresh boundaries? As we pause from our regular rhythms of rush, 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 we open ourselves to new perspectives and possibilities. We give thanks for these moments and for the wisdom they afford us. May they help bring us together in the sacred dynamics of life so that we, as individuals and members of this community, might reach our full potential. As we step across this threshold, let this new year be a year of greater awe and gratitude, of deeper kindness and acceptance, of more courageous acts of conviction. For a kinder, more equitable, and sustainable world is not only possible, she is on her way. And in the quietness of this sacred community, we can ever hear her breathing. We will now pause to breathe slowly and deeply in silence.
This morning, we celebrate the new year. Humankind has celebrated the new year in many ways for as long as we have been able to see the stars and chart the heavens. The cycles of the seasons, the beginnings and endings, are indelibly drawn on our collective psyche. In our culture, this month is named for Janus, the ancient Roman god of gates and doorways, who is always depicted with two faces, looking in opposite directions, both forward and back. We are most familiar with the New Year's resolution as a way of making a new start. However, as Janus symbolizes, we must look backward as well as forward. Although we cannot stop the year from turning, we can seek to live more fully in the year ahead. Although we cannot change the cycles of birth and death, we do have the power to make meaningful endings, to let go whatever harmful patterns we have. We can vow to do better. Although we cannot change the past year or determine what the new one shall bring, we do have the power within every moment to commit to new and better ways of being. Today, I invite you to participate in a fire and water communion where we will use fire and water symbolically. Our communion will start with letting that which belongs in the past go into the past. This could be events from the past year that you would like to forget, to put behind you, disappointments, missed opportunities, losses, failures, unwelcome burdens, things you said or did that you wish you hadn't said or done, things you didn't say or do that you wish you had, things you want to let go, angers and fears and regrets, hopes unfulfilled. At this time, I offer you the opportunity to write on a piece of paper, dissolving or otherwise, what you seek to give up, cast off, be forgiven for, or leave behind in the year ahead. Please take this moment to write down anything you like. In a moment, we will dissolve or burn or crumple or shred our papers. In this process, let us intend that the burden of what those papers symbolize for each of us is also lifted. When you are ready, those with dissolving paper may drop your paper into your bowl of water, and after a bit, stir it around with your finger to aid the destruction. Those with Those with flash paper will need to let go, don't hang on to it, as you drop your paper on your candle flame. Spirit of life, be with us in our letting go. Help us to let go of old habits, grudges, and attitudes. Let us purge ourselves of anger, guilt, and loss. Let us forgive and be forgiven. Let the darkness in our hearts disperse, making room for healing light in the year ahead.
The Roman god Janus looks both backward and forward. Now that we have allowed ourselves to release the burdens of the past, we must commit ourselves to the future. We will now engage in a renewal or rededication to whatever is personally life-renewing and life-enhancing. We can start by reflecting for a moment on some of the good things that happened to us or our world in the past year. What are you proud of? What were your accomplishments? What were some of the special blessings of the year? Consider those things for which you are grateful. What would you like to take with you and add on to in the new year? Think of your hopes for the coming year for yourself, your loved ones, your community, your country, your world, and write these on a piece of paper. After the service, we invite you to embellish or decorate one or more of your hopes or dreams, to either put on your fridge or to bring to UUS to create a collage in Fellowship Hall, or make 2 copies and do both. At this time, I offer you the opportunity to light a candle or other source of light as a symbol of the commitment and renewal you wish to bring to your life. Let us intend that our candles will warm and light our way into the coming year, bringing inward grace and focus to our lives. Let us also intend that our individual flames will add warmth and light to our shared endeavors as a community. May the flame of life burn bright in your mind so that your thoughts can remain free of malice and dead ends. May the flame of life burn bright in your heart so that love and friendship are always welcome there. May the flame of life burn brightly in your body so that it will not store up the underbrush of the past, blocking present and future health. May the flame of life burn bright in your spirit so that joy and insight can always find a home. I invite you again to find a comfortable position in your seat and close your eyes, and to join me again in the spirit of meditation and imagination. Take a deep breath and find the restorative power of air and water in your breath. Feel your connection to other living beings through the air and water of your breath, connecting us to ancestors whose presence lingers on our earth. Each new year is seen as an opportunity for a new creation, a time to refresh and recreate ourselves and our communities, a new opportunity to fulfill our hopes and dreams for a better world. As we breathe in, may we feel the restorative power of air and water, nourishing the cells of our bodies, giving us power to pursue our wildest dreams for our community and our world. Let us breathe together now as we find our strength to begin the work of creation in this new year. We will take a few moments to breathe slowly and deeply in silence.
How we give, what we do with our lives, our time, and our resources is a reflection of our values. In response to the abundance we are blessed with, each week this congregation donates generously to organizations in the community whose work aligns with our values and principles. Our community partner agency this month is the South District Neighborhood Association of Iowa City. The association sponsors the Diversity Market, which empowers minority entrepreneurs, including women youth, and those in the Black, Indigenous, Latino, Asian, LGBTQ, and refugee, immigrant, and returning citizen communities. On the screen, you will see instructions for how to give online, or you may take this time to write a check and address an envelope to UUS to be put in the mail. You may assist our community partner, contribute towards your pledge to our society, or contribute to the congregation to provide additional support for our operating expenses. The offering is a sign of commitment to this free congregation, which is completely supported by the voluntary generosity of all who join with us. As we give and receive the offering, may we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. May what we have shared today help us more fully affirm our interconnection and live into love and justice. As we extinguish the chalice, we share these words from Amy Zucker Morgenstern, A Blessing of Darkness and Light. Blessed is the dark in which our dreams stir and are revealed. Blessed is the dark of earth, where seeds come to life. Blessed are the depths of the ocean, where no light shimmers, the womb of all earthly life. Blessed is the light into which we awake, the light that sparkles on the waters, that calls the tree forth from the seed, and calls the shadow forth from the tree. Blessed are we as we move through darkness and through light. And now, to close our service, let's join in singing hymn 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise turns fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built to our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
And we end with our benediction, adapted from Tess Bomberger. Something has changed in me this winter. In the past, I've focused on how long winter is, how miserable I find it, and how it seems so interminable. This winter, I find myself thinking instead that every day, every hour, every minute brings us just that much closer to spring. It is perhaps helpful to consider that turning towards spring is an active thing. The earth, which seems so stable, in fact flies quickly through space on its path that tilts us ever towards the source. So too, each memory we lay to rest, each truth in ourselves that we encounter and accept, each wrong act that we forgive, ushers us on toward our renewal. Go in peace, go in joy, go spread peace and joy in this world we share. And if you'd like, please join in singing our choral benediction with our choir.